Good afternoon and welcome to our afternoon Money Making Mom Scope. Today we're going to be talking about how do I decide which business idea is right for me. This is a question that a lot of people ask, and if you're having, a lot of ideas and inspiration and you're saying, I don't know which idea I should go with, which idea should I pursue? We're going to talk about that today. Had a great morning. I am so excited because we had no more throw up at our house. If you were on my scope this morning, you heard me talk about how one of my kids was up throwing up a lot last night, and I am just so happy. They're kind of down and out today, but not throwing up, and so I'm very grateful. Silas seems to be doing better. We had my team, my executive team, yay, no more throw up. I love that hashtag. My executive team, which is my husband and my two managers, Joy and Brian, we had meetings to plan out our first quarter today because Joy was in town from Colorado, and so all my kids had to be sequestered upstairs because I did not want to pass on the germs, but Silas was like, please, can I go play catch with Mr. Brian? So I think he's feeling better, but it was funny because when I said it's time to clean up your room if you're feeling better, all of a sudden everyone got sick again and they just did not feel well. So that cracked me up. But anyway, so if you are new today, my name is Crystal Payne. I am the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of the book, Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, 9 Simple Strategies to Stress Less, Sleep More, and Restore Your Passion for Life. And I am also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings, and that's at makeoveryourmornings.com. So great to have all of you joining me today. I'm just loving these afternoon scopes. It's so much fun for me to get to talk about making money. I've been blogging and had online businesses for 10 years, and so it's fun to finally be able to talk more about that and share things that I have learned and lessons that I've learned and a lot of mistakes that I've made, because I have certainly made a lot of mistakes. My new book, Money Making Mom, that you saw at the beginning of the scope, this comes out November 3rd. This is how every woman can earn more and make a difference. And this book is really the manual that I wish that I had had when I first started looking into starting a business. And this is not about starting an online business, it's about starting any type of business. And it's for every woman, no matter where you are, what season or stage of life. And it profiles dozens and dozens of women from all different walks of life who have all different kinds of businesses. If you're interested in getting a copy of Money Making Mom, be sure to go to moneymakingmombook.com. You can read more about the book. You can get details on where to order and the free bonuses that we have. Yay, you're going to pre-order on Friday. So we have some great free bonuses that you can get if you order by November 2nd. And I'm so excited about those. So you want to, yes, even a plant nursery at 54. So moneymakingmombook.com. And you can also sign up for our free 5-day course there on how I make a full-time income from home. It's a video course that we did, and I had so much fun putting it together, sharing my 5 keys to success and a lot of mistakes that I made and some businesses that I had that bombed and some suggestions that I have learned through mistakes, through trial and error, that I think will be really encouraging to you. So that's moneymakingmombook.com. So I am also wife to Jesse. We have 3 kids. Catherine is 10, Caitlin is 8, and Silas is 6. And we homeschool. We live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and my husband and I are both self-employed entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for those of you who are sharing this scope as well. I just appreciate all of you who not only give feedback and leave comments and tweet at me and contact me through my contact form, to those of you who share and sharing the excitement of this of the scopes. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, so this scope is a question that came from, I am actually not even sure how to pronounce her name. It's P-E-R-E-L. I'm gonna guess Perel. Pearl, I'm not sure. So I'm really sorry if I'm botching your name and you're on here, but this came from a question on Twitter. And if you have a question that you would love, pearls. It's like pearl, like pearls. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. And so I got it. Okay, yay. You're on here, yay! Okay, so it's Pearl. Wonderful. Okay, so this came from Pearl, and she asked on Twitter. And if you are, if you have a question that you would love for me to answer, you can either leave a comment through our contact form and ask your question, and that's at MoneySavingMom.com, or you can tweet at me. My Twitter, I'm at MoneySavingMom on Twitter, and you can tweet at me, and I see all of the comments on Twitter and see the questions, and I'm choosing questions from there to do scopes on. So this one is from Pearl, and she said, my mind is buzzing with online income ideas. How do I quiet the info overload and focus so I can start already? I thought it was a great question and something that many people wonder. How do you choose which business idea? If you have so many ideas swirling around in your brain, how do you pick the one that's for you? How do you know where to start? How do you know which one you should choose? So I'm going to talk about 3 questions that I encourage you to ask to help you determine what business idea you should pursue. And then we're also going to kind of talk about a plan of action that you can make based upon your answers to these questions. Question number 1 would be, how much time do you have to invest? How much time do you have to invest? Running a business is going to take time. It's going to take quite a bit of time if you want to be successful. So you really need to look at how much time do you have to invest. Look at your calendar. Look at how many time blocks you have throughout the week that you could dedicate to running a business. It's going to take a lot of time, but you can choose how much time you invest. But you also are going to want to choose a business based upon how much time you have to invest. So if you only have a few hours per week, you're not going to want to start a brick and mortar shop. That's not going to work. You're not going to want to start a business that is going to require you to have to be available every single day, all day long. You're not going to want to choose a business that's going to require you to be on the phone and be answering emails every single day. So, how much time do you have to invest? Is it a lot of time? Is it a little time? Look at your schedule, figure that out, and then I encourage you to set time blocks. Set time blocks in your calendar that will show you how much time you actually have to invest. So look at your calendar, and I love to use Google Calendar as I've talked about, and so put the time blocks in there. Maybe it is in the afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. every single afternoon, or 3 days a week, that you can invest that time into your business. Put it on your calendar. Maybe it's only 15 minutes a day. Maybe it's a block on Saturday afternoon. Put it in your calendar so that you can see what time you have to invest. Make an appointment with yourself with those time blocks so that you can commit to that. And then you say, okay, that's what I have. So how much time do I have to invest? Once you know how much time, then ask the next question, and that is, how much money do you have to invest? I really encourage you not to go into debt to start a business. This is so important because I see so many people that think, oh, I'm going to make all this money, so therefore I can invest all this money. And guess what? Then they end up not making money and instead losing a lot of money. And then they're in a bad pickle. You're in a hole because you've invested all this money that you didn't have, that you went into debt for, and then you didn't make any money. I am a big believer in starting out small, starting where you are with what you have and working up from there. So start small. Start with what you have, where you are, and work up from there. Don't go into debt. So for me, when I first started my very first business, which if you go to Money Making Mom Book and MoneyMakingMomBook.com, and you you sign up for our free 5-day course, you will hear more about my first business. But this first business was an online site that was not Money Saving Mom. It was a very different site, and it wasn't that great of an idea, but I thought it was a great idea when I started it. I learned a lot from it. But we invested $2,000 in that business. We had money in savings that we could invest, and so we invested that money. And at that point, it felt like so much money that we invested, and it was a lot compared to how little money we had right now. But we invested that $2,000 in order to buy office equipment. We bought a computer, we invested in some other materials that we needed, and we invested in a website design. Since then, we have never invested any more of our personal money into any online business that we've had. We've just taken the money from that initial investment and then grew that money and then took that money to start another business and then grew that and took that to start another business. And it's been really cool to see how that $2,000 investment has turned into over 7 figures more than once. And so pretty impressive that that little $2,000 investment has done that. But here's the thing, we had to start small. We could have looked and we could have said, oh, well, we need to do this and we need to invest thousands and thousands of dollars. That first business was not very successful. We didn't end up completely losing money, but we spent so much time and saw so little fruit for that money that we invested. So I'm so glad that we started small, because had we invested a lot of money up front, we would have been in a bad place, because that business never panned out like we thought it would. So if you want to know more about that business, be sure to either pick up a copy of my book, Money Making Mom, or go to moneymakingmombook.com, sign up for the free 5-day course, because I talk a lot more about that. But so how much money do you have to invest? This will help you to decide what kind of business you can invest in, because start small. So if you just have a little bit of money, maybe you don't have any money at all to invest, then you're going to have to start with what you have. Start what you have where you are, and then grow from there. When my husband started his law firm, he was office sharing with another attorney, so he was paying literally for his office, which was his little room that was his office, and then paying for part of the lobby and paying for having access to copy machine and things like that. But it wasn't very much, because he was just paying for a little office rent. And he couldn't invest in all this nice furniture and things to furnish his office. He went and got used furniture, and it wasn't great, but it worked. It worked. And so you just have to start where you are with what you have, and don't feel like it's not going to be enough. Do what you can with what you have where you are. So how much time do you have to invest? How much money do you have to invest? And 3, how much passion do you have? You have to have an enormous amount of passion if you want to be successful at a business. So if it's just a subject that you think it might be a good idea, you think you might be interested in it, you think it might work, that's not enough passion. You need to feel like you could talk about this until you were blue in the face. You need to feel like you could talk about this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That this topic, this idea makes you come alive. It makes you so excited, and you've not just been excited about it for 2 weeks, you've been excited about it for a long time. That's what you want. You have to have passion. So you need to have time to invest. You need to have money, and start where you are with what you have, and you need to have passion. Those are the 3 things that are really important, and that is going to help you determine what kind of business to start. So if you have a little bit of time, then you're going to start a business that fits into that little bit of time. If you don't have much money, you're going to come up with a business idea that fits with just starting with a little bit of money. And most of us, that's where we start. And your passion is going to then be another thing that is so important. So how much time do you have to invest? How much money do you have to invest? And how much passion do you have for the idea? So once you've asked yourself these questions, take all of the business ideas that you've come up with. So write a list of everything that comes to mind. And I really find that it's helpful if people who are close to you can help you with this. So have people who are close to you kind of brainstorm with you what ideas they have as well that they feel like would work for you. And so brainstorm all of that. Look at your list of ideas and ask, does this fit with the time that I have? Does this fit with the money that I have to invest? Does this fit with my passion? And pick an idea from that. And here's the thing, don't stress out on getting the perfect idea the first time. You don't want to invest a ton of money, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you cannot backtrack. But probably your first idea is not going to be the idea that you actually end up being successful with. Now that might sound discouraging, but that is the truth. Do you know how many blogs I had to go through and how many ideas I had to go through before I hit on the idea of Money Saving Mom? It was so many different ideas that didn't work, so many different ideas that never actually made it to fruition because they were just an idea that then I finally decided that's not going to work. So just jump out and do something. Don't take a whole lot of risk up front. Don't spend a whole lot of money up front, and don't get yourself into a hole that you can't dig yourself out of. But start somewhere and do something and learn along the way. So take those blocks on your calendar, pick an idea that you feel like is doable, that goes with your passion, that you have time and money for, and take those blocks that you've put on your calendar and then set goals for those time blocks. So if you have 3 hours to invest a week, then you are going to set your goals accordingly. If you have 30 hours to invest a week, you're going to set goals accordingly. So if you don't have very much time, then you're going to not set these huge goals for yourself for the next 6 months. You're going to set small goals. Small goals are better than no goals. So be encouraged by that. If you just have a little bit of time to invest that little bit of time well and stick with it. And over the long haul, you can see a lot of fruit from that little bit of time invested faithfully. So set up those blocks on your calendar, set some goals, break those goals down into bite-sized pieces, and then make an appointment with yourself that every single time when the block is on your calendar, you are going to invest into chipping away at your goal. And chipping away at your goal, and chipping away at your goal. Now, Pearl asked, she said, how do I quiet the info overload and focus so I can start already? I think that setting the time blocks and then setting the goals, that is the key. But also, sometimes you need to turn off the noise. So sometimes you need to stop listening to podcasts. You need to stop listening to Periscope. Maybe if you're listening to my Money Making Mom Periscope and you are just starting to feel like I have too many ideas and she's just giving me more to-dos, then you need to stop listening and you need to take a break and you need to focus on your small goals, chip away at those, and once you've gotten those accomplished, then you can get more information. But don't fall prey to information overload that leads to paralysis, because we can spend so much time collecting information and then not doing anything with that information. So stop collecting information and start applying what you already know. It's great to learn from other people. It's great to be inspired by other people, but if by listening and reading and watching other people, you are starting to feel overwhelmed, you are starting to feel like you have too much to do, you're starting to feel like there's so much more that you need to be doing, then you need to tune out the noise and just put your head down and focus on what you know you are supposed to do. Now here's the thing, for me, I've had to do this a lot of times. I will just have to stop following certain blogs, stop listening to certain podcasts, stop paying attention to what other people are doing, because I know I can't add any other goals to my plate. And I know that if I'm paying attention to what they're doing, instead of inspiring me to greatness, it will make me feel like I'm failing. And so I turn off the noise, not because it's anything to do with them, it's because me and my heart isn't in the right place. So I have to turn off the noise so that I focus on doing what I know is all I can do. Because you can become stretched way too thin and trying to start a business, and you can feel like you need to be doing everything all at once. And then you lose your health, you lose your family, you lose your marriage, you lose your sanity in the process, all for what? For what? You really need to ask yourself, for what? Is it worth it? I don't think so. It's better to set those small goals and chip away at them little bit by little bit and make a little bit of progress than to try to do everything all at once and burn yourself out and run people over in the process. So take your time. It's okay. Moving forward, even at a microscopic rate, is still moving forward. So my encouragement to Pearl is this: how much time do you have to invest? How much money do you have to invest? How much passion do you have for the idea? Take those 3 questions and use them to narrow down all of your ideas, and then pick one idea, set the time blocks for it, set the timer when those time blocks come up, set goals for those time blocks, chip away at them with focused intensity during the time blocks, and then tune out the other noise if you're starting to feel overwhelmed by all the noise that is out there, and do what you know that you are supposed to do. Because as I always say, the world needs your gifts. The world needs your story. You have a unique perspective and unique passion and unique talent that no one else in the whole world has. You are the only you in existence. So share that unique talent, share that unique gift with the world. Be you bravely, because the world needs your gifts. The world needs your talents. The world needs you. So that's what I want to share with you today. If you have not gotten a copy of Money Making Mom, be sure to go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com and pick up your copy. If you pre-order by November 2nd, you can get some really cool bonuses that are explained on MoneyMakingMomBook.com. And also, when you're at MoneyMakingMomBook.com, be sure to sign up for our free 5-day course on how I make a full-time income from home. And I will see you back here tomorrow around 3 p.m. Central Time for more Money Making Mom motivation. Maybe that's what we're going to call it. And I will see you back tomorrow morning if you're part of our morning motivation show. Tomorrow morning around 7:30 a.m. I scope with a morning motivation show. So I'd love to see you then if you haven't been joining us for that as well. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'm hoping for no more throw up in my evening, no more throw up in my night. And